After seeing the Easter Island, I came back to Peru, Lima. Now I'm going from Center Square called the Plaza de Armas. Cusco is a very small and beautiful city with well-preserved colonial architecture, evidence of rich and complex history. The city itself represents a center of the indigenous Quechua culture in Andes. All you can just see it's a little cold as it is at the high altitude. Otherwise it's a very small city, can be covered by walking. It has got a beautiful churches and the palace very close by, showing the Inca culture. And the city is full of mountains, narrow roads. Even in the roads, cars and everything will be driven. Cusco is the base point to go to Machu Picchu. This is a very famous 12-edged stone. Everybody comes here will watch this stone. It has got 12 corners. So people who visit Cusco definitely come to this palace to see this 12-edged stone. This is the typical Peruvian Indians, the natives. Next day morning, I started going towards the Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu is about 80 kilometers away from Cusco. We need to take the train very early in the morning. So from Cusco in the early morning, 2 o'clock, we started to a place called Tambo by bus. It's almost about 60 kilometers. Then we reached to Tambo, from where this train is starting. Peru Rail. In fact, I have booked in Inca Rail. So we are just waiting to take the train down to Machu Picchu. Now we are in Peru Rail, one of the famous trains like Canadian or New Zealand or Norwegian. So in one of the places we are going to Machu Picchu. It's early morning, 6 o'clock, and then it is a 2-hour drive. Then we'll really go to the Machu Picchu Inca culture, and then we'll come back on the way to Peru Rail. Thank you very much. Marco from Peru Rail.
Hey, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Marco. Welcome to Inca Rail, to our business class service. This is our beautiful train. This train will take approximately 1 hour and 15 minutes. Okay, you can see the river now. This is the Vilcanota River.
Suresh is now proceeding to Machu Picchu, which means old peak. Machu means old, Picchu means hill or elevation. It's a pre-Columbian 15th century Inca site located 2,430 meters above sea level. It is situated on a mountain ridge above the Urubamba Valley in Peru, which is 80 kilometers northwest of Cusco and through which the Urubamba River flows.
This river, so gushing, going to be the tributary for the Amazon. Can you just imagine, this river itself is so big, means you can think of the Amazon. These are the Andes mountains, the starting of Andes mountains range from Peru all the way up to Venezuela.
Most archaeologists believe that Machu Picchu was built as an estate for the Inca emperor Pachacuti. Often referred to as the lost city of the Incas, it is perhaps the most familiar icon of the Inca world.
Welcome to Machu Picchu, Cusco, Peru.
Thank you.
Okay.
Miss Cusco.
Yeah, sure.
Really, you're a good.
Now we have arrived at the base of Machu Picchu. Now we are taking a bus, a mini bus from the base of Machu Picchu to the mountains. The base is called, we have a hot springs at the base. It's called Caliente, Aqua Caliente.
We have arrived at this is the entrance of Machu Picchu. From here we are going. We are waiting for our guide. Once he comes, we are going further.
Machu Picchu was built in the classical Inca style with polished dry stone walls. Its three primary buildings are the Intihuatana, the Temple of the Sun, and the Room of the Three Windows. These are located in what is known by archaeologists as the sacred district of Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu was built around 1450 at the height of the Inca emperor. It was abandoned just over 100 years later in 1572 as a belated result of the Spanish conquest. It is likely that most of its inhabitants died from smallpox introduced by travelers before the Spanish conquest. The latter had notes of a place called Picchu, although there is no record of the Spanish having visited the remote city. Machu Picchu lies in the southern hemisphere, 13.164 degrees south of the equator. It is 80 kilometers northwest of Cusco on the crest of the mountain Machu Picchu, located about 2,450 meters above mean sea level. As such, it had a milder climate than the Inca capital. It's one of the most important archaeological sites in South America, one of the most visited tourist attractions in all of Latin America, and the most visited tourist attraction in Peru.
The Machu Picchu is lying between two great mountains. One is called the Picchu, other one is the Machu Picchu. So this is what I'm just seeing in the backside, so beautiful. And then it is separated by the great river Urubamba. So this is the city, and then the wonder is that how this beautiful city was built in such a height and such a long ago. So UNESCO made this as one of the wonders of the world.
However, it is sad to note that the World Monuments Fund placed Machu Picchu on its 2008 watch list of the 100 most endangered sites in the world because of environmental degradation. This has resulted from the impact of tourism, uncontrolled development in the nearby town of Aquasa Calientes, which included a poorly sited tram to ease visitor access, and the construction of a bridge across the Vilcanota River, which is likely to bring even more tourists to the site.
Now I'm standing on a place called Strategic Point. From here you can see the entire Machu Picchu, all the buildings of the Machu Picchu. They called the Incas lost city. It's a really wonderful place to watch because everybody is feeling that how they could build such a beautiful city long ago on the mountains.
The city sits in a saddle between the two mountains, Machu Picchu and Picchu, with a commanding view down two valleys and a nearly impassable mountain at its back. It has a water supply from springs that cannot be blocked easily and enough land to grow food for about 4 times as many as ever lived there. The hillsides leading to it have been terraced not only to provide more farmland to grow crops, but to steepen the slopes which invaders would have to ascend. The terraces reduced soil erosion and protected against landslides. 2 high-altitude routes from Machu Picchu go across the mountains back to Cusco, one through the Sun Gate and the other across the Inca Bridge. Both could be easily blocked should invaders approach along them. Regardless of its original purpose, it is strategically located and readily defended.
If you really see, this is the rock cliffs which they have got, but from these rocks they broke into small pieces and then grinded and then made this beautiful city. And during those periods, how exactly they made these small pieces of this rock is still a mystery. So many rock structures, and then if you see, it is with a full dense forest. Cutting the rocky mountains and making into this city was really a most difficult job. So this made the people to know more and more about Machu Picchu.
4 regions, 4 states, and Cusco is in the middle. Cusco was the capital, but the original name of the
invaders from the Spain has come and destroyed all this Inca dynasty. That is the very sad part of the Machu Picchu. Now after seeing this, we are returning back to Cusco in the late evening. Again, this the great river going to join Amazon, and this is the range of Andes mountains.